This is Kiru, a 22-year-old bright student who's always driven in achieving her goals. Not only being a student, but also an athlete, always keeping an active lifestyle. She has always thought of being a bright student among her fellow classmates. The feeling of being on the top was always overwhelming. The pressure to excel is constantly there. A fine day, she gets stumbled upon an article online discussing on how prescription stimulant like adrenal can enhance focus and improve her grades. The disappointment that grew within her due to her very lack of satisfaction over her marks constantly pushed her to seek for help such as adrenal. Driven by the desire to perform better, Kiru begins seeking out and experimenting with these drugs. Amber, Kiru's best friend, who has always been there through her ups and her downs. She has been her best friend ever since Kiru has joined this particular high school. And being there throughout all her days, Kiru and Amber grew a very fond bond. But Amber has always been concerned of her decisions that she happens to make. Initially, questions her decision in the choice of adrenal. She is very wary of the potential dangers of drug use and expresses her concern. However, Kiru downplays the risks, emphasizing the potential benefits for their academic performance. In fact, Kiru tries to convince her, but fails to do so. Although Kiru struggles a lot with academics, her family has always been her escape media from her stress. Both her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Sean, always supports her and loves her like any other thing in this whole wide world. But days after she started using adrenal as a choice of drug, she refused to have any conversations with her loved ones. The sudden changes of Kiru's behavior raised and worry within her parents. Kiru returns to isolate herself. Constant frustration and lethargicness. Kiru relies on adrenal as a choice of energy. Concerned, her parents decides to barge into her room and realizes that there were empty drug packets that were from what she was taking. Frustrated, Kiru attacks her parents and shoos them off the room. Her parents, who are very worried and questions her actions, they try to support her by offering her encouragement and help with her workload, but their effort remains oblivious to the real issue. As Kiru continues using drugs, her behavior begins to change. She becomes irritable, withdrawn, and neglects her responsibilities. Her grades start to slip and her athletic performance suffers. Amber witnesses to these changes. Realizing the changes and the constant drug use of Kiru, Amber realizes and decides to step in and to help her. Hearing upon an awareness campaign that was run in her school, Amber decides to bring her and help her to step out of this addiction. Being a good friend, Amber brings her to the school counselor, Dr. Anna. Dr. Anna, a kind and experienced counselor, listens patiently and offers Kiru support and guidance. She connects Kiru and Amber with support group for teenagers struggling with substance abuse. At first, Kiru and Amber are hesitant to participate, but the stories and encouragement they find in the group give them hope. They begin to understand the severity of their situation and commit to working towards recovery. This has been a great breakthrough for Kiru as she decides to turn into a new leaf and joins the group, starting up a whole new life back again. Kiru's story shows us a very powerful message of hope and resilience. It highlights the dangers of drug misuse, but also emphasizes the importance of seeking help and support. It demonstrates that even the most challenging situations can be overcome with determination and the right resources.